Welcome, Flyers fans. You're listening to Chris Mayer, Flyers Fan Mania 93 on YouTube.
All right, so Flyers lose 3-1 to the Ottawa Senators in a game that honestly really wasn't that entertaining as much as last night. It was like a completely different game. You go from last night being like a playoff atmosphere, such a memorable moment, pretty much, history is what we watched last night. And this game tonight was the complete opposite of that. It was just, 2 goals from Ottawa that were just complete snipes, and then the long-range empty netter. And Atkinson gets his 23rd of the year. And the Flyers, I had the feeling before this game that it was going to be kind of hard to find a certain spark and to find what was different. Usually leaders do that. That's just, kind of the thing. Drew not being there and all that stuff. It honestly wouldn't shock me if Drew watched this game or, things like that. It's a lot different not seeing Drew playing a game. That was the first game, as I said last night. Tonight's game was the first game that I've ever watched that didn't have Drew or Voracek in it. So that's another thing too. Unless it was injury related, but those guys were rarely injured for any long period of time. Lions tonight: Van Riemsdyk, Brassard, Atkinson, Lindblom, Frost, Konechny, Farabee, Hayes, Mayhew, Willman, Brown, McEwen, Provorov, York, Sanheim, Risto, Yandel, Braun, and Jones in net. So Jones goes in. Could be his last game as a Flyer. Brassard gets first line center. I don't know if that's a showcase as well. But, overall, I didn't really think the Flyers played the best game tonight. It was kind of just not as much offense, not as much creativity with certain things. It kind of seemed like a lot of their plays were forced. They just didn't seem in any sort of... they just didn't look like they were together at all in sorts tonight. They had a couple power plays in the first period, couldn't get much going. Atkinson had a chance off turnover. Farabee, I thought Farabee actually was one of the best Flyers in the first period and really throughout the game. York ended up taking a puck up high, was bleeding, but ended up coming back. He is okay. Stützle scores off of a weird play. I don't really understand. I still don't really understand what the breakdown was. Going back and watching that a couple times, but he absolute snipe. I really don't know how Jones didn't at least get a piece of that, because it looked like he was there, but it was just a fantastic shot as well. So 1-0. Sens get a power play late in the period. Pretty good penalty kill, didn't give the Senators anything. Willman and Hayes had a 2-1 in the beginning of the second. Not much going there. Flyers had a good offensive stint where they had some pucks in the zone. They ended up creating some havoc in the Senators' end, and they got the goal from Atkinson on the tip from the Braun shot. So that's a 1-1 game there, and Atkinson's 23rd of the year. If he keeps playing like this, he's probably going to put up 30, 32 goals. I tweeted that out during the game. If he keeps, they have 21 games left, he's probably going to get 30 goals. He needs 7 and 21. Definitely doable for him, so we'll see what happens. But he's been definitely one of the bright spots of the season. He had the A on his jersey tonight, and he's a guy you want to build around going in the next year. He's a guy you want to build with, he's an important piece of this team going forward, and it's good to see him continue to score and just to show any excitement is something that I think is really important, because there hasn't been much to be excited about this season, really, besides last night's game. And he's been a guy that he gives a fist bump after that goal. Like, I know sometimes that stuff doesn't mean anything to anyone, but to me, that means a lot, because how bad this season's been. There's, guys that give it their all, and he's one of them. So second period ends. It was kind of back and forth. Both teams had their chances. After the Senators' goal, it kind of felt like the Flyers had a pretty good push for the rest of the period. After the Flyers' goal, it was pretty much, all Senators after that point. So that's kind of how it was. And then third period, that scrum with Risto and Tkachuk was pretty exciting to watch. If I'm being honest, I haven't loved Ristolainen's play since his deal got announced. I think he's just been kind of average. I think he's made some good plays. I think he's made some not so good plays. He hasn't really done much for me. Sanheim, on the other hand, I think has been really good. But I see why they signed Risto, but it's like he hasn't necessarily shown me much recently. I'm sure his game will pick up, but recently I don't think he's shown me much. I thought he was playing really well before that. But recently I don't know, really, I haven't seen much from him like I normally have been. Ottawa would score on a power play from Norris. I didn't love the defense on that one. Felt like they kind of just gave him the shot. It was a beautiful shot, though, 2-1, and then Flyers had the power play late and chance after that as well, and couldn't score there either. So, ends up being a 3-1 loss on the empty netter. So, we'll see. I mean, look, I think this team is going to be a lot different come Monday. I don't know what really else to say, but there's going to be a lot of guys probably gone. I would think Braun is gone. I think Brassard is probably gone. Jones, I wouldn't be surprised if they kept Brassard, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. Again, SeatGeek, Garrett Group Construction, check those out as well. Link in the description. Same thing with the merchandise. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you all again soon.